Bitcoin hit its all-time high back in October of 2025, and it topped out at around 126K. Right now, it's down about 50% from its all-time high. At the time of this recording, it's been floating between 63 and 64K over the last few months. We've been bouncing in the 60 to 50 range, and people are getting nervous. They're thinking it's all over.
Feel like we finna change the cycle, ayy. That's the most success, you know we thriving, ayy. That's the most depression for our rivals, ayy. Could teach a lesson on survival, ayy. You know I'm from the bottom.
Welcome back, wealthy people, to another amazing installment of the Black Wealth Renaissance Podcast. I'm your host, David Bailout, one half of the crew. Here with my brother from another, Jalen. What's good, bro?
What it do? What it do? What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Jalen, man. Jalen Clark, the other half of the crew, the other part of the dynamic duo, man.
You feel me?
I'm doing great today. I'm black-tastic, feeling blessed,
I ain't got
man.
a black-tastic out you in a minute, man.
I'm feeling blessed.
I'm glad to hear
blessed
you doing
and highly
great,
favored,
man.
dog.
I hear that.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
Amen.
Yes,
to
indeed. Hey,
yes, sir.
I can't complain on this end, man. You know, life is good. We doing things. We coming back off vacation. I got renewed energy.
I'm just ready, nigga. You coming back off vacation?
Hey, man, listen. You gotta be my brother in spirit for stuff like that.
I wasn't your brother in the relaxation and the travel.
The rejuvenation is shared, my brother. Like, you see, you black-tastic
I
now.
don't think it work like that though. I'm still tired.
It's not. Hey, that's fair.
I'm still tired.
But hey. Either way, you know, we both doing good, and we back for another one, y'all. Shout out to everybody that's been tuning in, tapping in, been getting some great feedback from people on all over, man. Y'all continue to let us know how the pod has impacted you, the things that you've learned from the show, and make sure y'all do us a favor. If you do enjoy the show, leave us that 5-star rating and review. If you want to get early access to episodes, please join the Patreon. It's free. We got stuff in the works. We got things that we're planning on doing and pushing out on Patreon. So definitely tap in. Get over there. You get episodes about 24 hours early. You can interact with us. And it's free for the time. You know, we got paid tiers, but we got the free tier. We getting it out there. We just want to continue to build that community outside of just on this audio channel.
Yes, sir. Speaking of leaving the rating and review, we did recently get I wouldn't say a rating, but it was a review, kind of like on YouTube. I don't know if you wanted to read that one.
Yeah, for sure, bro. You got it pulled up.
Yeah, I got it pulled up. So the review comes from Chick Style Junkie. Shout out to you. I love you guys. I listened to you on Apple Podcasts app and came here to leave a comment and subscribe to your YouTube channel. Having you guys back is amazing. I understand life has its way of lifing, and as soon as I saw you posted your podcast audio, I tuned in.
Hey.
I started listening to y'all back in 2020, 2021. Thanks to you, I bought my first rental property at 23 years old. Shout out to you. Yeah.
Popping. You know what I'm saying? Hold on.
Yeah, man. Go ahead. Pull up the effects, man. They need some air horns, dog.
Yeah, come on, man.
Let's go. You have no idea how glad I am to hear your podcast speak about current political realities and how it impacts everyday people. I'm currently off social media, YouTube, for YouTube Academy purposes only.
Hey,
but
YouTube University, we love it.
Yes, sir. But I would have 1,000% shouted you guys out. Keep up the hard work and blessings. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Blessings to you. Thank you for everybody that tunes in. Like I said, man, y'all definitely let us know. We love to hear how the pod has made an impact. And we're going to continue doing what we do, man. So without further ado, bro, let's get into it.
Let's hop into it, man. Let's start this thing off right.
Indeed. So, Jalen, I got a question for you, bro. Is Bitcoin cooked?
Is Bitcoin cooked? You know I love Bitcoin, dog. I'm
kind of a Bitcoin fiend myself, too, man. I never counted out, you know what I'm saying? That's like counting out, like, I don't even know, bro. That's like counting Usain Bolt out in a 100-meter race. Like,
I don't think that ever happened in his life.
Bro, well, you ever know, Usain Bolt, sometimes he get off the block slow.
Yeah.
But then by halfway through, you know, he hit that stride. And it's over with. He looking back at you now. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel like this is kind of the situation. We've been seeing a lot more of a bearish sentiment in the market. in recent times. I feel like the bears are coming out of the woodwork, man. I was watching, I don't watch cable TV often, but I was watching, I believe it was a youth video from CNBC on YouTube or one of those channels, right? Mm-hmm. And it was somebody on there that was like, the Bitcoin scam is over. It's done. It's going to zero. Everybody who invested is a fool. This is stupid. Y'all all got. It's a big Ponzi scheme. You big dummy. You got what you deserved. It's going to zero. And I'm like,
that's hilarious. That wasn't Kramer, was it?
I wasn't Kramer. I wish it was Kramer, because if it was Kramer, that means go buy that.
Go the opposite.
Now, you know
that's why I'm asking.
Go buy that immediately. But nah. This was like, I forget who the individual was, but anytime I start hearing that type of talk, I kind of love the space that we're in, right? Because, you know, it's easy to talk about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency when everybody's talking about it, when we're hitting all-time highs.
Whenever it's a fad, whenever it's a fashion.
It's hot and everybody cool to making money.
About. Yeah.
But during these times, like now,
when it get a little chilly outside in these Bitcoin streets.
It gets a little cold, you know what I'm saying? It's real icy in these Bitcoin streets, sir. You know what I'm saying? Bird.
Is that a crypto winner?
I think it might just be, bro. And a lot of people ain't prepared for it, but that's what we want to talk about today. So, you know, Bitcoin hit its all-time high back in October of 2025, and it topped out at around 126K. Right now, it's down about 50% from its all-time high. At the time of this recording, it's been floating between 63 and 64K. But, I mean, over the last few months, we've been, like, bouncing between, like, I think the lowest we dropped down to was, like, 55, maybe, somewhere around that range. But we've been bouncing in the 60 to 50 range, and people are getting nervous. They're thinking it's all over because we got
There's got to be new people that's new to Bitcoin, dog.
The water's got a little choppy, and, you know, some people, they start shaking in their boots, man. Think about it when we was out there on them yaks, man. You know, they see a little gator in the water, they start, ooh, you know. Next thing
they about to flip. That? Not me.
They about to flip, man. The nervous people, bro. The people who they ain't got what they call
about that life.
They ain't got them diamond hands.
Yeah, all them sea legs. Yeah, diamond hands.
They ain't got them diamond hands. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand with things like Bitcoin that there are cycles in markets, and even though there are a lot of different factors that may affect things right now, the market cycles haven't changed. And with Bitcoin, it's 4 major cycles that we often don't really discuss because everybody only talks about it during one of the cycles, right?
Yes, sir.
And the other 3 people, maybe 2 of the cycles. So here are the 4 phases of a crypto market, right? You got your accumulation phase, your markup phase, your distribution phase, and your markdown phases, right? So accumulation. What that is this is the period whenever things start building up, right? It's starting to gain a little steam.
That pot on the stove is starting, the little small bubbles came, but it ain't boiling yet.
It ain't boiling yet. We ain't cooking like that, right? And then boom, there's the markup period. That's the period everybody talking about it. That's whenever it's
when
hot.
Your grandma know and cousin Shirley at the church know about it. You ain't got no Bitcoin, you wrong.
And what Jalen talking about, that right there, that's the absolute top, that peakity peak, close to the middle, right? And then we had a distribution phase, right? So this is what, you know, okay, we came all the way off the top of the tops, and we come back down, and we come back down to earth, right? But we holding a pretty steady level. And realistically, that's more so where we've kind of been, but it's speculation that we've entered into or are entering into the markdown phase, which is crypto winter, right? That's whenever it's real dark outside. It's real bleak. You know, nobody talking about crypto. What's going on with crypto? People don't really want to speak on it. Usually during these crypto winters, as they're called, it's a drawdown of, you know, 70 to 85%. So technically, we're not there yet. You know, like we might still have a little bit more bleeding to do in terms of if this market cycle was to follow. Lows. Yeah, well, like
what previous cycles followed.
Exactly. Yeah, like this market cycle was to follow what previous cycles has shown us, then
it can go as low as like 85% low,
which would be pretty much. That's a little bit more significant than where we are now. We're about a little over 50% from all time highs. So you're thinking about another 20% down. Maybe we go all the way down to 30. But this is that phase where the winners start accumulating, right?
Yes, this is right as it crosses over from phase 4 back into phase 1. As it's dropping down, this is the way I look at it. And I know we've talked about this previous before on the podcast, very early episodes, but whenever assets start to fall, that's not whenever it's time for you to panic. That's just like any of that designer going on sale. It's just like you found a 2020 Ford Raptor with 3,000 miles on it, but it's on sale for 20% off, 50% off. You still got a great asset.
Up to 70% off. You know what I'm saying?
You still got something that if it was at the regular price and you could afford it, you would buy it. But it being on sale makes it a much, much better, much more attractive buy, if you ask me. And it always kind of makes me wonder, why with assets is that the only place that people act like that? If you get a sale on something that's worth it anywhere else, you're excited about that.
Well, I think the reason with assets is because, they're not physical materials that we can literally enjoy. Like the truck you can drive, the shoes you can wear, but the asset is just money it's really numbers on a screen. If we're being honest, it's not even physical money these days. More times than not, it's just numbers on the screen to most people. Money. It can be converted, but I don't think it's valued the same because there's a lack of a physical aspect to it. But nonetheless, that shift in your mindset is really what'll continue to keep you as a winner with these investments, right? Mm-hmm. And when we talk about the crypto winners, where people are nervous because the price continues to drop and it draws down. And people, they stop trading, they stop dollar cost averaging, they get stuck in fear and they start selling off assets, which continues in turn to drive the price down. I don't want us to hone in on the negative side of it, but look at the fact that how much this market's recovered and how many times this market's recovered. Because winners typically last about 12 to 14 months. Whenever we do get to that period of that, significant over 70% drawdown. And there are 3 in the last decade and a half that we can discuss, right? There was the crypto winner of 2014 to 2015. At the time, Bitcoin was $1,100. Crazy to think about, right?
It is crazy.
It fell to 170, which was an 85% drop. And by the end of that 14-month period,
think about them people that was in that time frame, David, because that's whenever Bitcoin was still fairly young, fairly new, right? Think about the people that was buying this whenever it was $1, $2, whatever it was. They watched it go up to 1,100, then it dropped down to 170. That's when you talk about diamond hands.
Diamond hands, bro.
So new.
Because it's like, logically speaking, as a human, bro, you start seeing this thing decrease. You think, I don't want to lose mine. Exactly. Like, I don't want to be the one left holding the bag. So it rushes people to sell. And in those instances, hindsight's 2020. You can tell people all day you shouldn't have sold. But in that moment, it may not have felt right. But we have, as us sitting here in 2026, we have the benefit of hindsight to look forward. Like, past results don't guarantee future performance. But if I'm looking at, we just talked about one drawdown. Let's move to the next, right? The next drawdown, December of 2017. So this is after a bull run. December 2017, Bitcoin peaked out at $19,800.
This whenever a lot of people was like, I'm a Bitcoin millionaire.
This is like more than likely
this
whenever.
Right around the movie A Lot Dope was about 2015 whenever that came out.
I don't remember when that movie came out, but this is probably the time whenever Bitcoin started becoming a little bit more mainstream.
Yes.
Like we were still in the early adopter phase, but I think we had just moved into the early adopter phase. We weren't in the innovators phase no more, right? Like now this is early adopters. We in $19,000, almost $20,000 we peak out. And over the course of 12 months, 13 months roughly, up until January of 2018, we seen Bitcoin slide back down to 3,200, which, and mind you, that's still higher than the previous all-time high from the prior cycle. So that was a 1 year. You've seen a large loss of value. People, like Jalen mentioned, probably sold again. Mm-hmm. But over the course of the next 3 years, you see Bitcoin recover significantly through the pandemic era, right? You've seen Bitcoin really recover throughout the pandemic.
What is it? The things everybody was buying, man. Not the meme coins.
What was the
NFTs?
Thing? NFTs was the time. Yes, NFTs were the hot crypto commodity at the time, and that's what was driving a lot of the activity and action into there. And it peaked out in the end of 2021. Bitcoin peaked around 69,000, and then we slid back down to 15, which was a 77% loss. And then that lasted pretty much up until the end of 2022, where we started seeing recovery. And then Bitcoin started hitting that accumulation phase where you start seeing it go up. And then we ran all the way up to 126. So we clearly in that third phase right now, that distribution phase where it's like, okay, we done came down off them highs. We about 50% of the way down. And if, again, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. But
so, David,
if history says anything, if history rhyme a little bit,
it sounds a little good.
It sounds good.
I want to talk about a few things as well. So I know we're talking about the phases and we talked about the NFTs and everything. I kind of want to talk about some of the things that trigger these phases as well, right? So even with the accumulation or these hype cycles that go through, so that NFT phase, that was driving a lot of money in crypto. There's a lot of layer 2, layer 3 being developed, and it was a lot that was just going on around that time. If you were tapped into crypto, like you knew about some of the things. There's NFTs,
at
there's
the time, people definitely were thinking of the smart contracts as something that was going to be a revolutionary technology.
DeFi, there's all of these things that's happening around that time. But around the 2017 and the 2018 time, that's whenever a lot of meme coins was born because of the acceleration and adoption of Ethereum and the way that you can go ahead and create these coins just by going ahead, like the smart contract, going ahead and just creating on top of Ethereum to get that instant liquidity and that instant coin that you can do. That was happening around that time. But also something that happens every 4 years is a Bitcoin halving. And that's basically whenever the supply of Bitcoin is cut in half. And it's going to continue to happen over the next few years. I think the last halving
was a couple years ago.
The last happened in 2024.
Yeah, in 24. And so the next one will be in 2028.
Yes. The last halving, I'm sorry.
And just to, while you're looking that up, for people that don't know, the Bitcoin halving is just a built-in mechanism with Bitcoin. It is a limited supply. There's only 21 million Bitcoins. And during the halvings, the available amount of Bitcoin to mine or unlock is cut in half up until the point where we reach the full supply. So that's what the halving is. It's a built-in mechanism to control the supply. And that is one of the things that whenever people say Bitcoin doesn't have inherent value, that's one of the bears' biggest arguments, right? Is that Bitcoin doesn't have inherent value. The fact that it is a limited resource and people hold it as a store of value, that gives it value. And there's also, compute networks, power that goes into the proof of work system. So there are real world assets that are tied to the production and maintenance of the Bitcoin network.
Even with the real world assets and everything, right? That's something else that why I feel like Bitcoin and crypto is not cooked is because they are still working on adopting and adding real world assets to the blockchain. They are now working on tokenizing bonds through the government. We spoke about Robinhood last year. Robinhood is tokenizing the actual trading. So whenever I think about these type of things, I get real excited because it's like, it's not the Bitcoin that you should be worried about. It's what's being built on top of this. Same thing that we say for AI. It's not the large language models you should be focusing on. What's actually the infrastructure that's going into this, right? Even like with Bitcoin, one of the big criticisms of Bitcoin's network is it's slow, it's clunky because they don't want to upgrade the networks. They don't want to do different type of, it's where pretty much everybody vote. It is a system where all the nodes vote and everything, and they could upgrade it if they wanted to, but they don't.
They don't want to make it like a representative democracy. They wanted everybody to maintain individual voting power, which keeps the network decentralized.
Exactly. But if they wanted to vote on it, they could speed it up and everything. But they're also building what's called layer 2 platforms and layer 2 protocols on there to help nanosize it and increase the transaction speed and everything. So once again, whenever I look at all of these things, I'm not just looking at the value of the Bitcoin. I'm looking at the value of the infrastructure, right? If they are digitizing and they are tokenizing real world assets, that means that the financial institutions, they see something that's, worth it.
Definitely. The financial institutions definitely see something that's worth it. I mean, look at our government and the Bitcoin ETF market, right? So like Bitcoin ETFs, there's over $130 billion in Bitcoin ETFs now.
And like that when did they actually start trading Bitcoin ETFs? Is that like 2 years ago at this point?
I want to say maybe a year or two ago they got the approval. I believe Grayscale was the first one to get approval. BlackRock and Fidelity have their own, which are two of the largest financial institutions. Most of you probably heard of both. Many people have a Fidelity account. That's who they trade with. As of July 2026, CoinMarketCap does have them at $130 billion as total locked value as people who are investing in Bitcoin indirectly through ETFs. So that level of institutional belief, to me, that says a lot about where we are with this market. And like the idea of it going to zero is really asinine because it's like, you think BlackRock is going to let this go to zero?
Not before they sell all them Bitcoin. You have wells selling everywhere, boy.
I'm telling you, like this wouldn't just. You think they gonna be the ones caught with their pants down? They're gonna be the ones holding the bag. Come on, guys. Like, let's be real. And then on top of that, like the government is actively positioning itself as the crypto capital of the world. That's something that's going on. Like, the United States is in the process of drafting regulations and crypto-friendly regulations and frameworks at that. That, I mean, you looking at, we got Bitcoin ETFs approved. There's the tax wash sale rule, which is crazy. I just learned about this. With Bitcoin, most assets, if you sell an asset to harvest the tax loss, you can't repurchase it for 30 days because the IRS won't let you. Otherwise, they call it a wash sale, where you basically just sold it to harvest it, but you didn't really uninvest from it. You just rebought it at a lower price. That doesn't apply to Bitcoin. That's a super friendly regulation when you think about it. So it's like, if you bought Bitcoin at the top and you believe in it as an asset and you want to lower your taxable income, you could sell it, take your cash out, and repurchase at the lower price the next day or minutes after and still reap the tax benefit of it, which is a huge benefit. So like,
that's astronomical, actually, bro. That's why Trump and them fucking with crypto. Sorry for cussing.
Yeah, man. Watch your mouth, man.
I got a little bit too passionate.
But I mean, speaking of him in crypto, he been going bananas. He made $1 billion off crypto last year. Corrupt am up. The corruption economy, man. This dude made $1 billion off a Trump coin, World Liberty Financial coin, and he sold a stable coin company. All just last year.
Is it him or is it his kids?
It said Trump. It was disclosed in his paperwork.
Damn. That's crazy.
Who knows what his kids made? I'm pretty sure that's on paperwork somewhere too.
Yeah, maybe it's not, because they told the IRS they can't go ahead and investigate them.
Ah, man, that's crazy. That is crazy. So, should you still be investing in Bitcoin, right? What'd you say, Jalen?
I'm going to say I cannot give that financial advice. But me personally, I'm going to still be going investing into.
He said, listen, I can't tell you what to do, but as for me and mine, we're going to keep dollar cost averaging all the time. Exactly. You feel me? Listen, if you are a person who's investing for the long term, I don't see a reason why you wouldn't continue to at least expose yourself to the asset. The historical returns have far exceeded that of the stock market whenever you do catch it on these downtrends and catch it on the swing back up. Now, there's going to be a lot of noise. There's going to be a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt telling you, hey, it's going to zero. But in my humble opinion, if you study the history and you look at what it's shown us to this point, now is the best time to continually dollar cost average. I wouldn't say, throw a lump sum in it just yet. Just studying the history, it looks like we still have a bit further to go down.
I think that's why it's also important to understand your technical analysis, watching them charts and everything, right?
Definitely.
Set you some type of alert to, if it hits that.
Set a price target. You set you a price target.
70, yeah.
If you want to look at the previous all-time high. Say you want to go at 75% from that previous all-time high. You set you a price target there. Let's see.
Load the boat price.
Quick maths. 126,000.
You the math guy, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
At 75%, 126,000, 25%. That's 31,500. So if we go all the way down to 30, that would be 75% off, basically. Mm-hmm. We go all the way down to 30, realistically, just based on what the market has shown us in the past, that may be where the bottom is.
It could go lower than that, honestly.
It could go lower than that. This is not financial advice, but we say that to say that got to be a price that you're comfortable purchasing at. So if you don't want to just do the load the boat method, I always would say we recommend dollar cost averaging, consistently investing on a rhythm or whatever way you want to do it, weekly, monthly, daily, whatever you do, automatic transfers to the account, automatically purchasing it. That way you're giving yourself exposure. You're buying the market at all times. You're not trying to time the market. You're just giving yourself exposure to the asset. Yeah, you won't have, as great of a return if you just bought at the bottom and caught it all the way on the run up to the top. But continuously buying has been shown to be more effective than trying to time the market. Historically, humans are bad at that. Just keeping it a bean. We emotional wrecks. We be over here thinking we know what's going on. And then we get nervous thinking we need to sell everything because we watch Jim Cramer tell us, we're going to hell. That was Bill Ackman. You remember that bull?
Oh, man. Bill is a piece of...
Bill's a piece of shit, man. Call him what he is, man.
I'm trying not to cuss.
Sorry, y'all. But yes, call him what it is.
He is the stinkiest turd you can think of, dog. If y'all don't know what Bill Ackman did, y'all should go see. He fear-mongered and made billions off of it.
That boy was crying on national television. Yo, did he deserve an award?
Nah, for real. That was
Oscar-worthy performance.
Yeah, I was about to say Emmy-worthy performances there.
Nah, he'd have took the Oscar from Denzel, bro. That boy was believable. Double back. He probably wiped his face with selling the shares immediately.
Yeah. And cut. In my town, what my bank account say? We up. It's bet.
Indeed.
Yes, sir. You got anything else on this?
That's all for this today, bro.
Trump accounts went live July 4th. If you don't know what a Trump account is, Trump accounts is something that Trump was introducing to incentivize investing, kind of like to create nest eggs for the newer kids. Who's eligible for these Trump accounts? Any child under 18 with a social security number is eligible for a Trump account.
Okay.
But there's a caveat. Children born between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028 received an automatic one-time contribution from the federal government. So they got a $3,000 into their Trump account.
I ain't gonna lie, I like the way this sounds.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then with that, you can go ahead and you can invest into ETFs and different funds through the Trump account. You are able to contribute up to $5,000 per year into the Trump account. And these contributions can come from family members, employers, or charities. The money is accessible to the Trump account owner at the age of 18, but there is early withdrawal standard penalties.
Okay, so what we discussed last week, if you pull it out before you actually reach retirement age,
and a half, yes, you're gonna
pay the penalties.
Yes, sir. The good thing about it though is you are also able to convert it into traditional and Roth IRAs as well.
Okay, so so from my understanding is that's what happens, right? The Trump account converts to an IRA whenever the kid turns 18, right?
It don't just automatically convert.
Okay, you have the option to convert it. Got it. So honestly, I don't like this orange dude, right? But this is probably the best piece of legislation I've ever heard come out of his camp. I don't think it's a terrible idea for the government to put money into the pockets in the futures of people, especially like we know the perils and troubles with Social Security. That program likely won't be around for these kids. So I think creating a new vehicle to invest for children in their youth is good. I don't like that they're only doing $1,000 up until 2028. It seems like a lot of the
newborn kids.
Yeah, and I get that part. Like that makes sense, only for the newborn kids. But it seems like a lot of his policy that we've seen in the past, like even like the no tax on tips and overtime with the big beautiful bill. He gives you what they promise to give the middle class or the everyday working person has a time limit on it. And it's not they're not giving as much as they kind of make a big deal out of when they talk about it. So I can't talk bad about this just yet, but I do feel like there's some type of catch here, right? So is there any catches with this? Because he always builds some BS in there.
I was just about to say, and you were talking about like to the regular everyday citizen and everything, right? So yes, the regular everyday citizen, there is some catches to this. So typically whenever you are investing into accounts, you're either going to invest with post-tax dollars, and you'll get some type of deduction for you going ahead and contributing, or you can do a Roth where it's taxed up front, and then as the
money grows tax free.
The money grows tax free, and you can withdraw it without any taxes. With this one, it's actually interesting, bro. So individual
here come the bull. That's what you just told me. What you said is interesting. Here come the bull.
Yes, sir. With individual contributions from a parent or relative, they are made with after-tax dollars, and there are no tax deduction.
Okay, so
that $5,000 that you put into that year, they're gonna tax it going in, and there's no tax deductions.
So you can't write it off like the pre-tax deductions that you make to your 401k or your traditional IRA. So it's almost like they've combined the Roth and the traditional in a sense, but not giving you the benefits.
Because you still pay the taxes whenever you withdraw it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but they combined it, like the worst aspects of both. Like they took the benefits out of the Roth. Like they combined the after-tax concepts of Roth and then still hit you with the taxable portion like a traditional. So for those people, I think
if you do convert it once you turn 18 to that,
you pay the taxes right then and there, and then
then everything else that continues to accumulate, you kind of a little bit better.
Which realistically, that's not a bad plan.
David, there's more. There's more. So,
man, I feel like I'm on a bad infomercial. Oh God, what else? What else is there?
So there's a flip side to this. So employers can contribute to the funds as well, to the accounts. They can contribute up to $25,000. And that would be tax-free.
No. What?
I'm sorry, $2,500.
Okay, I'm about to say, shit.
Yeah. No, they can contribute up to $25,000, and it is
$2,500.
Jesus. $2,500. Well, I keep on saying 25,000.
You want it to be 25,000 real bad.
I'm trying to pay these kids, man.
Hey, man, somebody help pay for my son college, baby.
For real. Trying to lace Linux and Maverick up.
You feel me?
But yeah, however, contributions up to $2,500 are tax-free to the employee, and the business receives a tax deduction.
So, okay. So, yeah, that go his stuff again, right? The stuff for the everyday working person, it got a time limit, and, you're not getting as much as what the other side of the cash flow quadrant is getting. Mm-hmm. The E&S guys, they getting the shorter end of the stick, whereas the B&I guys, they're going to get deduction on their taxes for contributing, which I don't have really a big qualm with that. I mean, it's kind of similar to retirement contributions is how I look at it. You got an employer match on a 401k. Don't turn down no free bread. If your company want to put money in your child account, obviously take the money.
And I think that, so whenever I heard that, I was like, maybe that's why they did it like that, to incentivize employers to go ahead and contribute to that, to get that tax deduction for the business. So I was like, maybe that's like that, but I still feel like it's BS that the general individual could not.
Why for them and not for us?
That's the game of America, though. The business is always going to have that advantageous loophole set up for them.
Always. I mean, that's the game. Like, the game is the game. It's all in the game, yo. Like, that is how it is played. They lobby, they make sure that laws are written in the favor of that side of the cash flow quadrant. Definitely. But kind of talking on this Trump account thing, right? From a financial standpoint, I definitely think it's a good option. One of the things that I seen as a proposal, which makes sense, is, this as a vehicle, if the government were... So I was talking about Social Security earlier, and how, it's probably going to be defunct by the time even you or I need it. These kids won't see it. Flipping the government's perception on financial aid for people. Somebody did like the math on it, and it was like, by the time you're taxed, by the time you reach retirement, the average person is taxed like $600K. If you took that same 600 that you were taxed and invested it, you would be able to have a larger return on that investment than what they're actually paying you in Social Security. You would be able to get distributions. I think the math they did was like $90K a year on distributions, whereas like Social Security on average you're getting $37K. So you're looking at almost triple what they're able to afford based on how that program is set up and how it pays out and things of that nature. Because, I mean, we often think of Social Security as just for retirement and for seniors, but this also is money for disabled people, and the money goes multiple places, right? I think this as a financial tool is not. There's no real negatives to me to have another tool in your tool belt financially to build wealth for your child. But with all the things that are currently out there, I don't think that this is the best option. Like, for the people who can get the free band. Yeah, if you get the free band from the government, start it. But, like, this wouldn't be the first account you should put money in for your child.
Yeah, they got accounts that'll get you better tax deductions and better outcomes with the money for sure.
And first and foremost, before you start investing for your children, make sure you got your stuff together, because the best thing you could do for your kids is to make sure that you have your ducks in a row, because the black tax is real.
Yeah, I was about to say.
The black tax is real. How many people's parents don't have the retirement set up, and they're going to be relying on them to help them make ends meet? So the best thing you can do for your child before putting your money to work for them, put your money to work for you. Secure your financial future first. And then once you got all those things, Mac, like laid out, you got your 401k, your IRA, you contributing, you doing the best you can with that. If you want to set up an account like a Roth IRA for your child, that seemed like a better idea out the gate versus this Trump account.
A 529 plan.
A 529 plan. People sleep on them 529 plans, bro.
I'm telling you.
people think that money can only be used for college, and it can be used for so much more. It can be used for K through 12 expenses. Yeah. It can be used for trade school. If the kid don't use it, the money can get transferred to a different family member. You can invest it. And what I didn't know was, like, if they don't use the money for 15 years, you can get like a distribution out of it. I think it's like $35K. Yeah, if the money don't get used for 15 years, you can get like a one-time distribution of $35K. So like, that's just, don't think of it as like just money for one kid. That's like family education wealth fund, and it's tax advantage.
I like that little phrase, the family education wealth fund.
Like, make sure your bloodline got some smarts in them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's hard. You just coined something.
But I mean, obviously, make sure you take care of yourself first. Reality is, for most people, they're not making enough to contribute to that shit. But it is an option. And for everybody that can get the free 1,000, make sure, you know, how does that work, by the way? Yeah, do you have to go sign up for it?
You sign up whenever you do your taxes, bro. Linux got a Trump account.
Shout out to my nephew. My guy's son got one of them accounts. Man, I hate he called it a Trump account, though, man.
I do hate that he called it a Trump account.
We got to rename it. We got to rename this stuff, bro. You know how they were calling it Obamacare? They tried to switch it up. We got to rename this. Just call it like...
They're going to rename it.
The Children's Future Accounts or something like that. America's Futures Account or something. Man, we could... There's so many better names than Trump. Like, we could sit here and name better names all night. My apologies.
Come on, man. We talk about the kids. Let's think about the kids.
I believe the children of the future. Hilarious.
You got anything else you want to add on the Trump accounts, man?
Nothing additional on the Trump accounts. Just the Fund of America's Children of the Future Fund. That's what I'm gonna start calling them. I ain't calling it the TZ account, bro. But
you're gonna have a catchier name than that.
Hey man, listen, we spitballing right now. We gonna come up with a better name eventually. Y'all tell me what y'all would name it, because I ain't calling it the Trump account.
I like that. Yeah, y'all drop that in the chat. What y'all think would be a good name for it?
Facts. So no, that's it for this topic. Moving on, I do have a question I wanted to pose to you with some stuff that I seen was going on.
What type of question you got for me, man?
So your favorite company back in the news? I know y'all probably get tired of us talking about these folks. Nah, the other Netflix. Favorite company.
Tesla.
Nah. Your third favorite company with your boy, man. Who? Your boy Sam.
Oh, man. You talking about OpenAI?
Of course, man. Them boys back in the news again, dog.
Man, I do not G with that dude, man.
I heard that was your boy. I heard y'all be getting coffee in Silicon Valley.
I was say, I probably wouldn't be here with your ass right now.
See, you wouldn't be.
I got tea and crumpet with Sam this morning, dog. What you need?
No, but yeah, they back in the news, man, because, you know, we've been talking a lot about OpenAI. We feel like they're the weakest link in this chain, and they recently pushed back their IPO. They were talking about IPO this year. They said, hey, we ain't going to do that. We're going to wait till next year. Because financials, we talked about a lot of that last episode. I won't rehash it here. But they're back in the news because they want to give a 5% stake in OpenAI to the U.S. government to contribute to a public wealth fund for the U.S. citizens so that they can reap the economic benefits of AI.
Sound like public scam fund to me.
So, you know, we talked about a sovereign wealth fund.
We did.
And they had plans for America to start it. And the question we had back then was, where's the money going to come from? Like, we already in debt. Where we go? It sounds good, but where the money coming from? And this more of the same. We just talked about OpenAI's financials. Where's this bread gonna come from? They out here making promises to everybody, just handing out IOUs left and right, like penny candies. And
you ain't lying, bro. It's worse than Enron, dog. At least Enron was like covering it up and everything like that. These dudes, it's out on Front Street. Hey man, I got you later. Oh yeah, you come mess with us too. You can do 200 billion with us. Like, come on.
I got 300 billion for your Oracle. It's just wait on it though. I got you. I have it tomorrow. You know, my check here.
But let me go ahead and borrow them data centers while we at it.
See what when my bank account set up is. But
I got to move the money from my savings to the checking.
that's how OpenAI moving. So like a lot of critics are saying that, they think this is a setup for an AI bailout, bro. Like, so we seen Intel last year, they gave 10% to the Trump administration, and Intel has been going crazy this year. They had the secretary, Howard Lutnick or whatever his name is. Brody was calling up companies like, hey, you going to do this deal with Intel? Like, you got that going on? Yeah, Intel a part of that now, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of strong-arming their way into stuff. And we've seen Intel skyrocket. I think recently they had a dip in price, but they've been running crazy this year.
So
for a company that was relatively
OpenAI
dead.
Trying to do the same thing to where we'll go ahead, sign this with the government, and now
they incentivized to play ball on my behalf.
Not everybody got some type of contract with OpenAI and chat.
Because if we being honest, if we talking about like the public sentiment race, they getting their butt kicked by Claude,
Anthropic and Gemini.
Anthropic kicking their teeth in right now. Like in
but
terms of,
say what's a lot scarier too. Well, I'll let you finish and I'll tell you.
Just in terms of like enterprise adoption, Anthropic is definitely like the favor of people who's actually going to pay what the service is worth. OpenAI is like really focused on the consumer side of things, and they can't charge the consumer what it's actually worth. We seen what they did with Sora, burning billions of dollars to where they had to shut it down. It just seems like a lot of
GPU power going to waste.
Just going to waste trying to win consumers with a product that doesn't really benefit consumers the way that they intended to.
The thing that I was about to say just now is we're talking about Anthropic. The part that's really scary is the Chinese models, who are a lot more efficient and cost a lot less too. I don't know if that's
a big threat.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's just because, we're first early adopters, and then they got economy of scale. They also kind of probably running it on cheaper fuel, cheaper alternatives.
They also steal our intellectual property.
Yeah. So they got access to a lot of those things, but they figured out how to make it a lot more affordable for those companies, those enterprises. The only thing that OpenAI has on China is the fact that the U.S. government is blackballing a lot of those products from being used within American society.
Which I don't disagree with, because China definitely has
backdoors everywhere.
Not even just the back doors. They have a penchant for stealing like America's technology. So like I was looking into that. Do you know how they train their models? It's a process called distillation. They just they prompt our large language models like OpenAI, Anthropic and stuff like that to train their models. Yeah. Like, hey, give me the information I need to train this large language model. So like wherever advancements they make on this end, on the for-profit side,
we're pouring in all the money for the R&D,
and China's just taking it and giving us like the cheaper version for free. And we are starting to see like on the enterprise side. So we've been hearing a lot about companies burning up billions of dollars with AI. Those companies, like I think Facebook burned like $1 billion in a month with AI tokens. So now what companies are doing, they're triaging questions. So they have like their own AI that triages the question to determine what's the best AI product to use for it. Because if it's a simple query, we can use one of these cheap, free Chinese models. But if this is a complex query, okay, now we go put the money in. Let's use Claude Fable. Let's use the most updated OpenAI.
Is that what Perplexity is doing? Because I've been seeing a lot of ads lately on Perplexity.
Essentially, I don't know if that's the tool they're using, but Perplexity does have that same concept where, they determine based on your query which AI model that they're going to use to answer it.
That's interesting. I didn't really hear about going with what option makes the most efficient, most price conscious query.
So, some companies are starting to go that way just because, it went from like token max and like, oh, you want to show you a good employee, show that you're using AI as much as humanly possible. But the companies are realizing that they haven't been getting the return on the investment that they thought they would be getting from AI. Like the usage on an enterprise level just hasn't yielded the returns that they thought they would. The company I work for personally, they've turned it off. They said, hey, wait, why are we doing this? This bill is stupid. Cut it off. And that's what a lot of people are doing. They're like, cut it off. We look at the adoption rates. We look at the production. It's not changing anything. So why are we giving ourselves an unnecessary bill? And with that in mind, I 1,000% agree with the critics of this. And I do think that this is a setup for a bailout. Like,
before you go too further on that,
okay.
It was one more thing that I said, like that I wanted to talk about, the competition for like the OpenAIs and everything. It's actual on-device models as well. So kind of taking the same thing that you were saying with the Chinese models, what they're doing through diffusion, they're building on-device models that are just as good, but it don't have to go to their cloud and query and do their GPU. It can all be done on the device if you have enough memory and RAM. So some people are actually building their own local AIs for their companies, and they don't have to use these big companies either.
Isn't that what Apple kind of plans to do in a sense? So
yes, that's what Apple is doing with the upcoming Apple Intelligence new development that they announced at WWDC. But that's basically what OpenClaw could do as well. So like whenever you downloading it and setting it up on the device, you can pair OpenClaw with on-device AI that don't have to run through the Claude and the OpenAI and everything like that.
So again, cutting out those cloud
service
providers,
service providers, yeah,
the in software user, and kind of going back to that point. That's why I believe and agree with them people that says like they think this is kind of the setup for a bailout. We've been saying it repeatedly. If anybody's the weak link in this process, it's OpenAI. They're spending $3 to make one. There's a lot of concern about their financials. The IPO was supposed to be $1 trillion. Now they're considering cutting it in half to 600 trillion. You know, it's just
billion.
600 billion. Thank you. It's just way too much going on in terms of what they have as a company, concerns about them with their cash burn. They want to be in a position where the U.S. government is incentivized to save them. And I think we got to just let it be. Like, we got to stop this crony capitalism, this corruption economy BS, man. Let's go back to real capitalism. We're going to be capitalists, you know what I'm saying? In the real free market, if somebody fails, they just fail. I don't think OpenAI is as integral as they try to make themselves. This ain't like 2008 with the banks.
So what I'll give them credit for the onboarding of a lot of people into AI.
Into the AI ecosystem, yes.
But they
definitely. They're getting their lunch ate.
They butt kicked.
They're getting their lunch ate right now. But yeah, I'm not with it. Let's not see it happen. Hope it don't happen. But speaking on the whole AI thing, there's a whole nother aspect of it that we kind of touched on. We talked about some of the companies, the memory companies. They're also now involved on the legal side of things. So late last month, Micron, SanDisk, and SK Hynix were all hit with a class action lawsuit that was filed. Like that fish from SpongeBob, bro. That's how your face look. But no, yeah, so late last month, Micron, SanDisk, and SK Hynix were hit with a class action lawsuit. It was filed by consumers and small businesses in California. They accused the big three of memory, as they're calling them, of colluding to restrict the supply and drive up memory prices.
Oh, so they created a fake drought.
That's what they said. And they said we thought it was a drought. It ain't no drought. They saying that they're artificially restricting supply. So these three companies...
That's kind of messed up, dog.
So here's the thing, right? So
we still need to sue these oil and gas companies for what they did in 2022, man.
Hey, bro, let it go, bro. We can't get them, bro. It's over. It's over with. It's done. But so
somebody got to pay, David.
Micron, SanDisk, and SK Hynix own 90% of what's known as DRAM market share. So that's a key component in memory that's used in AI stocks. Jalen, you could get a little bit more technical with them, but from my understanding, this is a portion that
I ain't even about to nerd out like that. If
this
y'all
is
really
something
want to
that
know,
they need
let me
in the
know on Patreon.
GPUs. Yeah, this is something that they need in the GPUs so that they can have the memory to perform the functions that they have. So they're a key component of this whole AI infrastructure build out. And because of the rise in AI, they say the supply of memory has been limited, and the price has been driven up between 500 and 700% over the last 4 years with the rise in prevalence of AI. And that's
crazy. That's
insane.
Ridiculous.
Insane numbers when you think about how much that price has increased. And what this is causing is other areas not associated with AI to feel the pain, because, video game processors, computers.
Everything uses memory.
Everything uses memory. Cell phones. Apple just raised their prices because of the rise in memory costs.
They raise their prices across everything, too.
Across everything. All the game systems that have been out for like 5 years for the first time ever are more expensive than they were whenever
they launched.
That's crazy. Bro, 5 years after the PS2 launch, you couldn't sell that bad boy at GameStop for $50, bro.
Boy, you could buy a brand new one for $100.
Now, you mean to tell me the PS5 just went up in value? Bro, somebody could sell their PS5 for more than they bought it for.
Yeah.
In theory.
I ain't buying no used game for that much.
I ain't buying no game, period. But it's pretty wild to think that they're getting sued for this. I don't know. I want to keep up with the lawsuit. But with this going on, I just think it speaks more to that whole corruption collusion thing. The fact that they feel like these three companies kind of sat together and said, hey, we can't do nothing, because all three of them, I want to say Micron said they sold out for 2026. Like, hey, we ain't got no more capacity. Like, everything on the books for 2027.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
Like they've ramped down production is what they're saying. And I wouldn't be surprised, like you just mentioned about the gas companies. Everything that glitter ain't gold, what they telling us ain't always the truth.
If they ramp down production, that's crazy. And the reason I can see them saying that, oh yeah, we wanted to save on production costs and all this other type of stuff.
So we'll keep y'all updated on this. Those companies have been pumping like crazy this year.
Yeah, we mentioned you invested to some of those companies, you made some bank.
What, SanDisk, bro?
SanDisk, I think I said what it went up to on a few pods ago.
Bro, SanDisk was crazy. It's like, I think it's like 2 bands a share now, and it just started trading last year.
I can tell you for sure. Yeah, it's right at 2 bands. It's at 19.15, and it started trading back in July of last year.
So just about a year on the market. And it's up, what is it, like 4,000%, something like that, maybe even more?
I'm sorry, it started trading in February of last year. $36 in February. And at this current...
Brother, $36?
Yes, sir.
So $36, what percentage is that? $36 to $2,000 a share?
That's 5,000%.
Sheesh. You know what I'm saying? So like, these companies have definitely benefited from the rise in the memory price, and they're still an integral part of this AI build out and really just technology,
everything.
period.
I was about to say,
just technology, period. Yeah. So even though they got these troubled waters ahead, they might lose this lawsuit. We'll have to see. Antitrust suits in the United States really don't go anywhere a lot of times, though. I mean, Meta's been under antitrust at this point.
Still under antitrust.
Google, I think, didn't Google, one of them beat the case.
You want me to tell you where it's going to happen at? European Union. The EU,
they're gonna break you up every time. They're gonna break you up every time.
Boy, they do not play with them.
Well, that's because America crony capitalism, corruption economy, baby. No longer you kiss the ring, you good over here.
They the reason we got these USB-Cs in these iPhones.
You ain't lying. They're going to be the reason Apple going to stop having to be able to charge for the App Store like they are. Apple's business model is amazing, by the way. Just anybody that's unfamiliar. anybody that's unfamiliar, y'all know Apple get money off of every app in the App Store?
You know that's not even their biggest revenue driver anymore? You know what their biggest revenue driver is?
What it is, bro?
It ain't devices, it ain't hardware.
Is it AirPods?
Subscriptions.
I'm about to say, if it's AirPods, I'd be pissed.
It is subscriptions, bro. Apple has so many subscriptions now, from Apple TV, Apple Fitness, Apple Music, subscribing for the storage, the iCloud.
That storage, I know they be getting money off that storage.
They make a lot of their money off of subscriptions.
Hey, man, cloud storage is a scam, bro.
It is a scam. I told you I was reading that one thing where they were like, I've been having my YouTube account, my Yahoo account. Yeah, since they was like,
they ain't delete nan email. It's 111,000 emails in there. They ain't never asked for no storage. Y'all, they is scamming.
Don't say that too loud.
Us.
They might start charging out.
I don't have no Yahoo account, so
I still got a Yahoo account. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got 3 of them.
Yeah.
I just got multiple. I got multiple email accounts, dog.
I got hella Gmails. I'm a Gmail guy.
I got hella Gmails, but I started off on Yahoo. The other thing, we're talking about keeping up and coming back to things. The other thing that I want to come back to is Trump and the housing
Road to Housing Act. Thank you for bringing that up, bro.
So I wanted to follow up on that. Last time we put out the pod, there was a 10-day waiting period that we had to go to. As of this recording, it is July 10th. He has until midnight to go ahead and veto that bill. If he vetoes the bill, it's going to go back to Senate. They're going to have to rework it and everything like that. If he does not act on it, if he doesn't do anything, if he don't veto it, even if he don't sign it, the bill will automatically pass. So we're gonna wait. We're gonna see. But it does seems like he is actually going to allow it to pass. He just want to endorse it with his signature. So he's like, "Hey, y'all want it, y'all got it, but I ain't got no parts with it."
He's such a petty
king,
little
yeah.
Bitch. He's just a bitch, bro.
I wasn't saying to say it, bro. I was just like, yeah, I get you. We don't want to hear it.
Man. He's just, I just feel it. Like, he's just such a little, you know?
I'm so sorry, family. I didn't want him to cuss.
I'm sorry, y'all. But it's ridiculous. It truly is. Like, somebody got to stop this from happening. But appreciate that update on that, Jalen. Okay, well, family. We'll come back with y'all. Know we're going to be back again next week with more good stuff for you. You got any good words for the people, bro?
Man, y'all just stay blessed, stay prayed up, stay looking out for what God is going to reveal. And also, don't be afraid to give things out of that you can't control. Sometimes just let it go, man. Just let go, let God. Just put your faith in him, and you will be amazed at how much things can start to change for you. And I'm kind of just at that point in my life right now, man, where it's like I got to stop figuring out and being like, oh, I got to figure it out, or I got to.
It ain't all on you, huh?
Yeah, bro. Hey, God, you got it. I'm going to stop worrying. I'm going to just let you take care of it.
Hey, man. And to that point, you told me today you was black-tastic for the first time in a few weeks. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So, take that worry up off of you, give it to him. Hey, that's what they say.
That's what I've been doing, dog.
That's what the old folks always told me. That's what my mama told me. She always said, if you're going to worry, why pray?
Amen.
Hey.
You got anything you want to share with anybody?
Nah, man, I ain't got nothing too enlightening. Now, I kind of like that point you left it on, but y'all know I always going to do my little schmoozing now. I need that 5-star rating and review. Y'all go ahead, subscribe on YouTube, like, hype, rate, shake, bake.
You know what I'm about to ask for. Forget all of that. Y'all join that Patreon. Go join that Patreon. Go
give me $5 to buy a steak, bro. I'm trying to get some steak, bro.
I don't even need no steak. I just want to stop working for who I'm working for.
Hey, man, I'm trying to eat lobster, steak, and shrimp every day. I want to be a full-time YouTube, bro. I want to be a YouTube. Let's be YouTubes, guys. Y'all love us. We love y'all. Everybody love us. We black, we beautiful, we handsome, we got locks and stuff.
Yeah, and y'all love listening to us. So
We love y'all.
We got great ideas. If y'all want to see us continue to create and everything, really just execute at the highest level. Y'all sign up for Patreon. Help us continue to pour back into the business. That way we can take this to the next level. I got some great show ideas. David got some great show ideas that we really want to bring to fruition.
Indeed, indeed. Well, family, until next time, this is the Black Wealth Renaissance. Signing out. Deuces.
Feel like we finna change the cycle, ayy. That's the most success, you know we thriving, ayy. That's the most depression for our rivals, ayy. Could teach a lesson on survival, ayy. You know I'm from the bottom.